What's up, A to Z Sports Titan Game Day Live? The Titans on the road trying to find their fifth consecutive win and a new starting quarterback today. Malik Willis gets his first opportunity to shine on the road, and a lot of eyeballs will be on number 7, getting his first legitimate opportunity to play as an NFL quarterback. Ryan Tannehill not only dealing with the ankle injury that happened at the end of last week's game, but also an illness that kept him out of walkthroughs later in the week. So we'll talk through all of this with Malik Willis getting his first run. Zach, you have 3 things Malik Willis has to do to help elevate the Titans offense today against the Texans, who are only a 1-win football team, and the Titans need to get to 5-2 before the schedule ramps up quite a bit. Welcoming the Titan Game Day Live, I'm Austin Stanley. He is Zach Bingham. We are going to be set here for pregame, halftime, and postgame show reaction and preview to the Titans at the Texans. Gathering our sponsors real quick before we dive into it. This is the NoDat app pregame show powered by NoDat. Download the NoDat app and discover your city on your terms. NoDat makes it easy to connect with local businesses and events that matter to you, so you never have that FOMO feeling. Also presented by MrGoodRoof.com for your roofing, gutter, and windows specialist, MrGoodRoof.com. Buddy Allen Carpet One for your flooring needs in Nashville. Crumble Cookies. Every day is better when you got cookies. Crumble Cookies. Download that app. And, of course, the BetMGM app. Download the BetMGM app and use our code ATOZ Sports. You get a risk-free bet on pro football up to $1,000. Zach, this day where Malik Willis makes his first start came a little earlier than I think most expected, but due to injury and also illness with Ryan Tannehill, he was unable to go through walkthroughs later on in the week. So Malik Willis gets the start, and Ryan Tannehill inactive today. So that's an interesting development as well. Logan Woodside is the backup quarterback for the Titans today. Welcome in.
Yeah, this is an exciting day because, you draft a quarterback like Malik Willis was drafted, where he was presumably prior to this past year's draft going to be a first-round pick, falls to the 3rd round. The Titans take advantage and get a ton of value in Malik Willis in the developmental stages of what he is and what he is becoming. He gets a training camp, learns under Ryan Tannehill, and then all the hoopla of how many consecutive games Ryan Tannehill starts and hasn't been hurt, and then snap of the finger, hurts an ankle, has an illness, and doesn't travel with the team. And then you blink twice and Malik Willis is the starting quarterback. And I think this sets up very nicely. Malik Willis, and you stated this earlier in the week on our show, It's not the pressure of playing in front of your home fans in Nissan Stadium, right? Where they're going to critique and criticize every little thing you do vocally, in person, live at home. It's on the road in Houston. So I think that is a benefit. Play a little looser. It's against the Texans team who, let's just face it, they're disastrous. They're 1-4-1. Their only win is against the 2-6 Jacksonville Jaguars, who have just plummeted and lost earlier this morning in overseas. And, Malik Willis had some success in the preseason. So I think you go into this game, you look for a spark, you're a running football team. And man, if I'm a Titans fan watching this game or 30 minutes prior, you got to be excited, Austin. I mean, you're getting to see a playmaker, a guy that he's athletic. He can make guys miss. He can get big chunk plays. He's got a great arm for what it is. Now, is it accurate? We'll find that out.
Right.
But all of these things should get the blood flowing a little bit that probably wouldn't if Ryan Tannehill was playing the Houston Texans full health, full strength on a 4-game winning streak.
Oh, I'm pumped up. I think I'm pumped up because the unpredictability of it. Because, and you're going to go through your 3 things that Malik Willis has to do today. And I think we showed this practice clip when Sam Phelan put this together of Malik Willis in practice this week. And, I go to training camp practices. I was there with Sam nearly every day throughout the month of July and August. And then after the season begins, Sam takes over for all the practice reporting. And Malik Willis looks so much more polished. He looks confident. He looks like his footwork has really tightened up. He looks a lot more smooth, and it looks more natural. And it looks like a guy who's been doing this for a lot longer than when we saw these type of drills in training camp. And so I'm really excited to see how fun Malik Willis was to watch in preseason when he was super raw and how quickly he developed throughout that preseason. And then now what he looks like when he's going out there as the starter in a regular season game after having a couple more months under his belt of really working through all of this, becoming an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, and can he put that together and put it on the field when bullets are flying against better competition? Preseason games are preseason games, but we know Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, and a lot of the defense for the Titans didn't play, and the opponents were the same way. So that is different. I think that you can take steps in the right direction over several weeks, but it doesn't matter if you cannot play NFL football during the regular season. And Malik Willis is going to get a prime time opportunity today to showcase his skills. And Austin, here's the last thing I'll say before I get to my three things. The Titans offense stinks. It ain't any good. Offensively, they're at the bottom third of the league. They're 27th, 26th, 25th. They're bad. How can Malik Willis change that? Can he, with his playmaking skills, help some other guys that haven't really consistently been there week in and week out? They're not going to have their first round pick, Treylon Burks. We know that. He's not going to walk through that front door in Houston. But how can he elevate? And I think these are some of the things that we're going to look to see in Houston today.
Yeah, absolutely. And so who's going to help Malik Willis make plays? Because we've seen a rotating door of guys who lead this Titans team in receiving from one week to the next. Last week, it was Austin Hooper. We've seen Chigakonkwo, a fellow rookie from Malik Willis, step up and do this. We've seen Robert Woods settle into a role as well. So who is that guy today? Chris Conley. We talked a lot about Chris Conley, the new addition off of the Chiefs practice squad, the veteran out of Georgia, a lot the last couple of weeks. But Zach, let's dive into these three things that you want to see from Malik Willis today to elevate this Titans offense.
Well, number one, it's the game plan. And the game plan is run the damn ball. So to Malik Willis, how do you use Derrick Henry to your advantage? This is the first time the two have played together because Derrick Henry didn't play in the preseason, right? So how do you use Derrick Henry's skill set? And I'm very curious to see how Todd Downing changes his call. Are you going to see more read options? Or you got two dynamic players, athletes. How and are you going to put Malik Willis in harm's way in that sense? But how do you use Derrick Henry with play fakes, check downs, screen passes to get Derrick Henry in the open field? We know how good 22 has done against Houston. How can you kind of replicate that? And then number 7, Malik Willis, kind of bounce off of that success and help himself in the passing game.
Yeah. And what does the defense do? Does the defense say, hey, Malik, beat us over the top. We dare you. We double dog dare you, and just stack the box with 9 to 10 people? Or how do the Titans set up formationally? Do they try to keep things spread out, or do they condense it all? Because what we know about Derrick Henry is that when he faces stacked boxes and condensed formations, that's when he hits the home run, because all it takes is getting and breaking that second level. And when you got 9 guys in the box, there is no third level. That's it, right? And so that's when
the end zone's the last
right.
level.
So will they try to keep it more spread out, because that can help Malik Willis get his legs involved, helps better with spacing, and also I'm just kind of curious about that, because typically this offense with 2 and 3 tight end sets and using a fullback today, it's Rader, who's the 4th tight end that is technically a fullback in the offense. They keep it very, very tight, like they're playing football in a phone booth. So we'll see how that affects Malik Willis too.
And that's not how Malik Willis played at Liberty with Hugh Freeze, right? That's spread it wide open and go. So different offense, different scheme. How will Todd Downing use Derrick Henry's skills to help his new starting quarterback for today's game? That's one. Number 2, and this is very important. I'm saving my third for our question, but I do think that this is the most important. And that is, don't take negative plays on early downs. Don't do it. First down, you cannot have a sack. Second down, you cannot get a loss of 3 or a loss of 5 or a loss of 7. It will kill a drive. Malik Willis doesn't have the experience to dig out of that hole. Do not take negative plays early in downs. And I don't know if that's going to happen, but God, it's an important one.
Ditch the pitch, toss no moss, all those things. What we say
but
about
this
the
is
sweep.
for Malik Willis,
Yeah,
right?
I know, but like those plays create negative plays and early downs over the course of Todd Downing being the offensive coordinator. So, yeah, easier said than done, but can they create or not create negative plays and stay ahead of the sticks? That will be very important. Absolutely.
So that's number 2. And look, we've got people coming in, no turnovers. I think that goes unsaid. You have to take care of the
It doesn't
football.
matter who the hell the quarterback is. You can't turn the ball over.
So that's unwritten rule. That's not a part of my list. But the third one, and this leads us to the question, and that is, and we previewed it a little bit, is we're going to find out. Every quarterback has his guy, right? So who is he going to find rhythm with? Is it going to be Robert Woods? Is it going to be Chig? Is it going to be Austin Hooper coming off, a good performance last week? Can he carry that over? Is it going to be NWI? I have no idea. There are pieces around. Could it be, at the Cool Springs Mall going to Hollister? Could it be Cody's time? I don't know. But that's the question we're going to ask today. And that is, who do you think Malik Willis finds his rhythm with today for the Tennessee Titans?
You know what? I was actually thinking about this earlier this morning, and I had no idea what Zach's question was going to be about the way we set up the show. So I like it. Who will Malik Willis have rhythm with today? But this is the No Dat pregame show presented by the No Dat app. Don't be the last to know that. Download the No Dat app. The link is right there in the Facebook and the YouTube description for you guys to hit on there to download the No Dat app. It makes it easier to discover and connect with whatever city you're in. Like Zach, when you go to Dallas, you use the No Dat app and it tells you what deals and what events are going on around you, or whatever city you're in, you can use the No Dat app and never have that FOMO feeling. And also, No Dat does not share and sell your information to other companies like everybody else does. So you are secure and you are learning and finding new deals, new events, everything that matters to you with the No Dat app. So click the link in the description to download the No Dat app today. So Zach, good question. I'll send you to the chat. Which Titans target will Malik Willis find rhythm with today against the Texans?
Couple of early Chigs, Alton, Jeff, Caleb, all go Chigs just to start. Matthew says it's going to be Austin Hooper. We've got Chris Conley right there from William Young, right off the streets, right into a plane headed to Houston. Hooper from Mark. You've got Chig from Preston, Chig from Eric, Chig from Michael. Wow, he's running away real quick on this. Karen goes with Robert Woods. So does Noah. Will starts to go with Robert Woods. Scar goes Chig. Richter goes Chig. Puka goes Chig. Boom goes Henry. So he's thinking Derrick Henry. Bobby Trees. So that's Robert Woods from James Welch. Conley from Robert. Chig / Woods from Jamal. Derrick Henry by handing it off to him from our guy Ty Kendrick, which is not a bad comment there. NWI's coming in from Guy and Jody. Henry with the handoffs from Dustin. Bobby Trees coming in from Lane. Hilliard right there. Brad throws in a little curveball with Hilliard. NWI from Ty Smith. And then a couple more Chigs coming in from Brandon, Bama, Brad, and Roberto. Tons of comments coming in, which we appreciate in our pregame show. Mark's going Stonehouse, so he think could be a punt fest. Look, the Texans, we'll talk about what they want to do before we get out of here with our predictions. But, Austin, who do you think Malik Willis finds rhythm with on this Titans offense?
So Jared has a joke, no rhythm with anyone. The Titans don't believe in rhythm. I mean, you can say that. That's kind of funny. And also,
you can say that because every single game it has been a different leading receiver for all of these games. So no, that's true right there.
So earlier this morning when I was thinking about this, before we jumped on our pre-show planning, I was thinking, it was the 7th game of the season when Tannehill took over for Marcus Mariota for completely different reasons. The Titans are 2-4. The Titans are now 4-2 and on a 4-game winning streak. But Tannehill immediately clicked with A.J. Brown and Anthony Ferkser that season out of the gates. Why? Because A.J. Brown and Ferkser were second-team players throughout the summer and training camp when Tannehill was the second-string quarterback behind Marcus Mariota. So when Tannehill got elevated, the others got elevated too. Corey Davis kind of left that season until Tannehill got comfortable with him throughout the next offseason. So I thought, okay, who has Malik Willis been working with for the second-team offense throughout the summer, training camp, preseason, and forward? So I went back to the training camp the preseason box scores, and Malik Willis did not complete a lot of passes in the preseason.
And that's the knock on him, is he's got to improve his passing.
Right, but what do we remember? We remember against the Ravens, that bomb to Racey McMath on injured reserve. We remember against the Cardinals, threw a touchdown pass to Traylon Burks on injured reserve. Another big play to Racey McMath. He also threw some nice passes to Chig. He's available. Des Fitzpatrick, unavailable. He's on the practice squad. Another guy that got a lot of targets, Reggie Robertson in the preseason. You're catching my drift. Terry Godwin, Mason Kinsey, and Hassan Haskins. So a lot of the guys that Malik Willis was throwing the football to in preseason are on injured reserve or not on the roster or on the practice squad, minus really Chig. And so I think the Chig answer, and Robert Woods was never really in the picture at that point because of his own recovery from injury. I have no idea. And I think that's why I'm so excited about this game, is because the last few games, you're like, all right, pregame show's wrapped up. Let's see what happens. And you kind of like expect to not get too excited. Where now I'm referencing my mind back to the preseason where Malik was making plays all over the place, and I don't know what to expect. I don't know who he's going to throw to. So I think Chig and Robert Woods are probably the two guys that will get the most looks in the passing game today. But how many times will they throw the ball? Because they weren't throwing the ball much when Tannehill was starting.
So what's your answer?
I said Chig and Woods are the go-to guys with the targets.
That's two answers. We don't do two answers. We do one answer.
So Robert Woods, because of the veteran, just his status compared to everybody else, I'm going to go with Robert Woods.
So that's your final answer. You got one guy. You're going.
I feel like that's the only option.
I was just making sure. It was a lot right there. I needed to come to a conclusion. Landing the plane. I'm landing the plane with Bobby Trees as well. I think Robert Woods makes the most sense. I think that the true answer is he's going to find rhythm with his legs. I don't expect him to throw for a lot of yards. I put together a same game parlay. Shout out to our BetMGM sponsor. Same game parlay. Titans winning this football game. So we'll talk about the predictions, but they're predicted to win it anyway. But I think Malik Willis, anytime touchdown scores like plus 300, and Malik Willis, I did an alternate rushing yards, 40-plus rushing yards. 40? I think his legs are the answer here. The rhythm is legs, but that's a cop-out, so I'm going to have to go to answer the question, because I'm going to answer the question, is Robert Woods. Yeah, Robert Woods, he's veteran. He is most reliable. I think he will be in the spot that Malik Willis needs to rely on guys that are trustworthy. And I don't think any of the other guys – Hooper has been up and down. Chig is still a rookie. NWI is, we know he has a ceiling, whether we're figuring out what that ceiling is. But I think to rely on the most trustworthy player on the offense has got to be Robert Woods, and find him some slants, find him some comebacks, get on the same page. But I think Robert Woods is the most logical answer to this question.
It's funny because I agree it's the most logical, but we have, one catch for 3 yards on the opening drive of the Arizona Cardinals preseason game to go by.
The Titans offense is illogical.
No, I know, but that's just that's the only logic we have. And so that's why I think
I like Orlando. Woods is QB friendly. I feel like he can fit maybe that mold, but we need to see it from Robert Woods on a more consistent basis. Mm-hmm. Maybe this is the start of something because we don't know how long Tannehill will be out.
Absolutely. A to Z Sports Live on our Titan pregame show. Getting ready to kick off coming up in about 10 minutes. We got to hustle through the rest of our pregame show. We got predictions coming up as well as who I think has the good matchup today, presented by Mr. Goodroof, our Who's Got the Goods. I'll tell you who I think got the good matchup today for the Titans. MrGoodroof.com. They are your locally owned window, roofing, and gutters and more specialist. Fully insured, licensed, and bonded. Stellar A+ star rating on the Better Business Bureau. Locally owned and operated for over 20 plus years in the Nashville area. Storms happen. Had some rain last night. You're going into the fall storm season. You got to get ready to make sure that your roof and your windows, your doors, your gutters are absolutely ready to go for the leaves that are falling. And the inclement weather that's coming with the seasons changing is ready as well. So beware of door knockers because they will try to do you dirty, or MrGoodroof.com will take care of you the right way. Locally owned and operated, MrGoodroof.com. All right, Zach, who's got the goods? I think I have who has the good matchup today. We haven't talked much about Derrick Henry because Malik Willis is such a big topic. And I'm not going with Derrick Henry. That's too easy. Sure, Derrick Henry's run for 200 yards plus in his last 3 games against the Texans, but that's a cop-out answer for me. But I'm going to stick with the run game. I think this is where the offensive line for the Titans actually has the good matchup today. Nate Davis back healthy, playing at right guard. So we'll see if they can get and continue the good run performance going, because here are the rushing yards that this Texans defense has given up in their 6 games so far this season. 164, 136, 81. It was against the Chargers. They don't run the ball. The Bears, 281. And the Texans lost that game. The Broncos, 149. The Colts, 177. We know Derrick Henry's coming off of 3 consecutive 100-yard games. I think the Titans offensive line has the good matchup in the run game today. The Texans are dead last in run defense. So they're also their leading tackler on their defense asked and was granted for his release this week as well. So they're not going to have Hill as a linebacker there. So I say Derrick Henry has a big day. And I think the run game in general has a big day. I think the Titans are well north of 200 rushing yards as a team today. And it could be Derrick Henry by himself.
Yeah, Malik Willis is going to stack up some rushing yards too, just because of the way that he plays. I think that makes a lot of sense. That goes to, the matchup. I'm also curious on the defensive side of the ball, how Jeffrey Simmons is going to handle his hurt ankle. He didn't practice all week, but will play. Bud Dupree, can he follow up a good performance last week with another one and get after Mills in this Texans offense? And, the question marks that we've had in the secondary, can the Titans settle in to maybe an identity in the secondary that's a positive, not a negative? So those are not necessarily good matchups, but matchups that I'm looking to watch for because Austin, the Tennessee Titans are 4-2 and have won 4 straight. And I understand that their quarterback, it was uncertain throughout the week. You're now starting a rookie. But the line is 1. Like Vegas, if go look at like most of the lines of where we are now, like live of where all the scores are.
Yeah.
I mean, they're right there. Vegas is right on the majority of them. What does Vegas know? Vegas is telling us that this is going to be a close game, that this is not your traditional 4-2 versus 4-1 matchup. I know it's in Houston, but damn, all those Houston fans are getting prepared to watch the Astros at some point.
Like, for example, the Colts starting their new quarterback they're a 3-point favorite at home against Washington. And then the Titans only a 1-point favorite. I think because we don't know what to expect from the pace of the game, I expect this to be a very slow game. I expect the only way they score fast in either team is just by a big play. Like there's going to be no tempo, up-speed tempo with either offense today. I think it's going to be super methodical. The game's probably going to be over by like 6 o'clock or earlier than that, right? It's going to be an under 3-hour game here is what I think. So I think that's probably the reason why the spread is so low, because it's basically a pick 'em, because they're going to limit the amount of possessions, which limits the differential in scoring.
Yeah, well, and overall, I said my three things that Malik Willis can do to this offense. They need to score points, and Malik Willis, he's going to change this offense. And can Todd Downing change with it? I also think is a huge storyline, because it's putting the play caller to the test as well, Austin. He's going to have to call a Titans game, right? Where you're going to run the football, you're going to line up, you're going to get under center, you're going to just run at them because you are a physical football team. But how does Todd Downing settle in to maybe some of the better attributes that he truly doesn't know Malik Willis has against, a regular season competition?
Well, and how much have the Titans been working on a Malik Willis secondary game plan throughout the last month and a half?
It's a good question.
I don't know. So we'll find out. Let's get to it. We are 5 minutes away from kickoff here as the Titans trying to get win number 5 in a row in Houston against the Houston Texans. All of our pregame predictions are brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app. Use our code ATOZ Sports, and you get a risk-free bet on pro football up to $1,000. It's really that easy. You download the app, you plug in our code ATOZ Sports, you make your first deposit, and your first bet on pro football is risk-free up to $1,000. That means you make your first bet. If you win it, fantastic. Congratulations. If you lose it, no sweat. You get that back in free bets to try to have a second and third chance at it. So BetMGM, code ATOZ Sports. We've already talked about the Titans are just a 1-point favorite, Zach. So what's your prediction? What's the chat saying? Take it where you want to.
Well, and one of the things of note, Zach Cunningham's come back against his former team. I feel like he probably circled this matchup because of how they parted ways a couple of years ago. My prediction is right aligned with Vegas. My prediction is the Titans win 17-16. I think this is going to be a grimy game. I don't know enough about Malik Willis within this offense. I don't know if they're going to be able to, as quick as you'd like them to, play to his strengths. So they're just going to run the football. I absolutely agree that we'll probably start our post-game show fairly early by 6 o'clock. So we'll have an early dinner. That's a good thing.
I'm thinking, look, the post-game show might start like 5:45.
So we may be out of here. But 17-16, Titans, you got the 1 point. But I think that's the type of game that Vegas is telling me. There's a lot of unknowns. The Titans don't have a lot of offensive weapons, if any, besides Henry. Mistakes. You got to avoid mistakes.
Yeah.
Hold on to the football in the pocket. Don't fumble it. Don't make bad throws, bad decisions. Don't be afraid to throw the football away and save it down. Don't take unwarranted sacks. These are the things that I'd be saying over and over and over again in the headset. Whoever's talking to Malik Willis, 17-16 Titans win. I hope it's different.
Yeah,
but that's kind of my gut.
I think the Titans win. I think they score 17's. I think they score 20.
Okay.
I think the Titans get to 20. I'm going to say 20-13. 20-13 Titans win. I don't know what the total is. I know it was sitting around 40.5 at BetMGM for most of the week. But I'm going to say 20-13 Titans win. And that's, winning 5 games in a row in the NFL is pretty impressive. If you're doing it with good defense and controlling the clock and the football with the running game, that's the key there. The only way I think the Titans score more than 20 points is by Derrick Henry having like a 50-plus yard touchdown run.
Now, how crazy would it be if the Titans come out there guns a-blazing and score 30-plus points, and we've got a controversy on our hands?
Oh, come on.
I got to say it before the pregame, before it starts, because it is a possibility. This is a shock of energy that the Titans offense needs. Now, will it work, right? Will these jumper cables start them up, or will we get the 17-16 game or to a 13 game that we're all predicting. But what if we don't? I think that's kind of what I'm hoping for, but I'm not expecting.
The only controversy will be happening outside of St. Thomas Sports Park. There will be zero controversy.
Say where.
No, I know. There will be zero controversy on the quarterback position within the building. We didn't really talk about this. Ryan Tannehill had an illness. If he doesn't get sick at the end of the week, does he try to play through the ankle? We'll never know, but he did get sick and was unable to go through the final workouts after being limited with the ankle throughout the week too. So I don't think there's a controversy. I don't think it would be fun. I want to be fun. I want to be wowed by Malik Willis today for fun reasons.
I just want a better Titans offense. I think that's what I'm looking for.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys. Thanks for everybody watching our Titan pregame live pregame show presented by the NoDat app. Appreciate all of our sponsors. MrGoodRoof.com, your locally owned roofing, gutters, and window specialist. Buddy Allen Carpet One, always giving you a free in-home measure and estimates for your flooring at BuddyAllenCarpet1Nashville.com. Crumble Cookies, download the app, buy somebody some cookies that you love, and the BetMGM app. I already won one of my one-game parlays with Philly today. That's a sore spot for another day.
I did
fans.
Oh, yeah. But, real recognized real. We'll talk about that this week, AJ Brown.
All right, everybody, enjoy the first half. We'll be right here, same channels on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch for the halftime show. We'll see you in a few. Enjoy the game. Talk to you soon. Thanks.